is up, AKAPADers? We have might be the greatest and the worst comic book movie adaptation of all time. Jean-Claude, Van Damme, and Cyborg. Let's go! And here we are, another inventory episode. You guys can probably mix and match some of the order of the inventory episodes with what your boy over here, AKAPAD Peter Anthony DeLuca, is wearing. And sometimes on social media, AKAPAD69. But say it with me, known throughout Philadelphia, PA, and the multiverse as the eclectic one. We got a golden goose here. This book. This right here, produced by Canon Pictures. Now, Canon Pictures is legendary now as a major schlock studio. And I say major because they were behind what I feel to be some relevant good films. One of them, in fact, is advertised in here. This is less of a comic book, but more of a promotion. This is promotional material for the VHS release of Jean-Claude Van Damme's Cyborg, what I consider to be his absolute, this movie. There was a time in my life where I watched Cyborg more than like Predator, more than RoboCop, more than Gremlins. I was completely obsessed with this movie, and the reason is because everyone is beyond jacked in this freaking movie. Made me so jealous. I grew up as a skinny mini 135 pound. I used to run around the shower to get wet. I used to wear a Cheerio for a hula hoop, have a Dorito as a hang glider. You guys know this is one of the reasons why I'm so into physical fitness now, perfecting my body and my mind. But this here, now surrounding this video though, real before we hit that drawing table, because I can't wait to show you guys this. Surrounding this video is a $40 comic book short box haul video somewhere, depending on the scheduled drop of that. This was, you'll see this in that video. They might be out of order, but be on the lookout for that too, because that's maybe the best $40 I ever spent on a stack of comic books in my entire life. But people, let's go. I feel like you and me, the AKAPAD Army, we're about to journey into the great beyond, into greatness with this book alone. Back at the drawing table, AKAPADers. Look, a quick side note. Don't trust anyone that doesn't have a Crypt action figure ready to go at their drawing table. I just bought this too. This is a electric. The package said solar powered Humvee. I was super curious about it. I just wanted to look at it. If anybody knows, leave me a comment. Let's get out of here. We do have a treat. This is amazing. Little bit of a preface, like a prerequisite going into this. Please understand, this is a promotional item, and I feel as of like putting together a promotional item, this book, this edition, Canon Video Comic, it hits every single cylinder. We're going to envy, well, let's just say, the illustrated artwork. And if we've seen the movie Cyborg, we know how brutal, violent, sci-fi, dirty, gritty of a movie it is. You can already tell by the cover. We don't go into that direction. Van Cleave and Von Shudley. That's who's doing the artwork here. Now, in the intro, I did reference there's some good movies previewed in here or promoted in here or advertised in here. One of them being American Ninja 3 Blood Hunt. Big shout out to my boy Mark. He's a graveyard shift, US assassin. He knows about these movies. Yeah, so look, we have a hard to follow, hard to read opening caption. The opening caption should be the best part of this book. But we do have some details from the movie. we're echoing some costume design. We do have the gun, and yeah, the story begins. We have a Cyborg here with the cure for the virus, Pearl Prophet, and her bodyguard Strat. As we know from the movie, Strat doesn't survive. Again, so I really think just from like modern comics, this book would resonate, because I just feel like for a modern book, this is where we are when it comes to Marvel Comics especially. But we do some work. We set up the Skinner, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He saves Pearl. Pearl kind of checks the Skinner. He checks out. We have our readings here. River of Death. Third act, a little bit this way. Rest of the movie, pretty solid. This is also Michael Dudikoff. It's like he's attempting to break out of the VHS cycle to be in like real movies. Solid attempt here though. But yeah, and we reveal Pearl we see the headpiece coming off. She's Lobot from Star Wars. And Jean-Claude Van Damme over here, our Skinner, just gets clubbed, and off we go. The bad guys have the girl with the cure. So this is a little bit what I'm talking about, it being a appropriate promo piece or a good promo piece. The good, the bad, and the lovely. These bios are fantastic. You read about Fender, you read about Gibson, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And you get into it. You get into the possibilities of this movie. I believe this would be more of a complete promo piece if the artwork matched the promo elements or the promo direction of this piece. But yeah, so we have essentially like a Vietnam village. Now, in the movie, we know the village doesn't look like this, but we get our flashback of how tortured of a life our Skinner, so a Skinner is pretty much like a hired bodyguard, previously Gibson. But yeah, does a nice roundhouse kick. Pearl helps him fight off more of these bad guys. They find another new location, get attacked out of the blue again for now the third time in about 6 pages. Jean-Claude Van Damme does what he does. Just punches this dude out. This is so confusing to me because it's almost like I get it. It's maybe the back of the head, but we kind of see like teeth here and eye marks, and it looks like the head spinning, but it's wrapped in the towel. Now we have a Archie Comics panel, a little bit more. Oh, Slinger. I kept calling him Skinner. Sorry, they're Slingers. We get a little bit more definition of what Slingers are. Jean-Claude Van Damme puts Pearl over his shoulders, runs for the sewers. Now we have a Wolverine sewer fight. Some good brushwork here, though. If you guys want to see that, not too bad. And then we're out of the sewer. We're back in the wilderness. Now, back to good movies from canon. Gotham is solid. Five Corners is solid with Tim Robbins and John Turturro, Jodie Foster. Both of these movies, Tommy Lee Jones. Both of these are solid. I haven't seen Track 29. I'm a little curious about that. More of canon's, we'll just call it VHS fodder. I believe maybe New Year's Evil is I would have to start watching this to know if I've seen it. Dracula's Last Rites. That was on my movie list at one time for my 31 Days of Dread podcast. But yeah, so we get more Jean-Claude Van Damme. We get a little bit more of the straight up violence. Now, this is a pivotal point in this movie. This is a part in this movie where I absolutely love, where they crucify Jean-Claude Van Damme and he heel kicks the crucifixion, or the pole for the crucifixion. He kicks it to free himself. We see that right here. Great sequence. During the sequence too, he's like flashing back to his past again. His family was brutally killed by our big bad here. And then here we go. This is why... I mean, I just feel like, again, this movie is so well thought out, so well designed. Everything works perfectly in this flick. Look at just this publicity shot. Now we get some Albert Poon. We get some intel from the director, some good insight. Nothing crazy, but here we go. Fender. Look at Fender. So we don't see it in here, but in the movie, Fender lures Jean-Claude Van Damme's family. He wraps them in barbed wire and just lowers them into a well. And I guess like this is what that would allude to. It really doesn't. It just says, it basically says, look, he had hired a slinger to get her horror escape. To Love Gibson, Haley marries. Like they don't even reference until Fender and his pirates struck murdering Mary and her young son. They don't even show you. I'm telling you, that flashback is brutal. But look at Vincent Klain. Now, I believe he's in Point Break. Look at this guy. I'm telling you, this movie, like growing up, watching Cyborg and watching Fist of the North Star was, oh my God, that was like a perfect afternoon. But yeah, flashback to Jean-Claude Van Damme trains, gets ready to destroy Fender, goes to rescue Pearl, and then guess what, guys? This is where it doesn't even like do the whole movie. It just says, look, Cyborg coming September 20th to video stores near you. And we get some canon information here. Canon too, like again, being a complete catalog, we have some of their I believe these were all imported. Right, they were imported from the UK. I don't know if these were on early HBO at one point, but yeah, we have the Grimm's Fairy Tales live action. We have Pow Wow Highway. I also want to say I've seen this. I'm not 100%. I believe I may have, but then here we go, guys. I mean, and look, see, like this shows you. Look, here's Pearl, as she is in the movie. Like I said, like there's a side of me that just wants to redraw. I just want to redraw this, but the style of the artwork completely shook me when I saw this. I honestly thought we were just dealing with the cover here, and you know, every once in a while the covers are disappointment compared to the interiors, but not this time. I mean, given the originals are probably. This might be 1-to-1 for the originals. Originals might actually be this size. The coloring's there, but I think with the harder art style, the coloring would have popped. But production time, I mean, this could have taken a week to put together. I say that's a comfortable assessment. I do like the negative space here, though. I think that's a good touch. But yeah, it's just a basic comic book from a amazing low budget science fiction movie. Sorry guys. I was hoping to wow you. All right. Okay. So that's actually my second Jean-Claude Van Damme movie adaptation flip through review. Somewhere, potentially, I might be on AKAPAD.com. If I don't get it live on AKAPAD.com, I believe it was a Twitter live stream that I linked out to, but it should be available on AKAPAD.com. But I did do Street Fighter, the movie, also starring the great Jean-Claude Van Damme. And okay, people, like here's you might be like, Pete, you're going way too hard on Jean-Claude Van Damme. When you learn about what he did to make Cyborg, and even Bloodsport, he went into the production, the manufacturing, the editing process of both of these movies, and really insisted on certain things being done a certain way to increase the quality. Now, this is moves very similar to Schwarzenegger and Stallone, and that's why for this era of movie, Van Damme is number 3 in that three-headed dragon. I'm sorry, Steven Seagal fans, but Van Damme, I mean, going all the way. I mean, I still even love Sudden Death. I love Sudden Death. I love Time Cop. I really enjoy just going back and checking his movies out. I'd like some of the newer Universal Soldiers that he's in. The Bouncer, another good one. I don't know, people. I believe on the long enough arc, Van Damme, longer career for better movies than even Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger's comeback, post-political career, filmography, not to be desired. His current Netflix work, not to be desired. But Van Damme has so many good under budget or overseas release gems like Replicant. I'm just like going off the tip of my brain here. I've enjoyed so many of his movies. Like, right here, AKAPAD, the film buff, or over there, the film buff. One of them. Guys, we're rocking and rolling. Inventory episode. I am still overseas. But subscribe, support, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up.